The 878th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com and use promo code MMA SGPN.
Heidi ho, Degenerinos. Welcome to episode 878 of the MMA Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to, which one should we give it to? Let's give it to Two Entrees. I think I'm going to give him his nickname back. What's his, I can't remember his first name. Two Entrees. Deontay Johnson for cashing for the other voice here, Daniel Gumby Vreeland, cashing that Fury FC. What was the line on that?
Plus
when it got
one.
Nice.
I think I quoted it in like the early 100s, but I think he wound up plus 170, 175, nice. Somewhere in that range.
Fantastic. It says 200 on the screen still, but I think I'm gonna retire the nickname. I am Jeff Fox. I want to be Jeff Berserker Fox as of today, because we have Berserker coming up. That's Daniel Gumby Vreeland. We're covering the other half of the PFL for you. Yesterday was the prelims minus one fight, just to even things out. So today we're covering the one prelim fight that just got added, and then the four main card fights. We have two tournament championship fights here at 170 and at 145. So thoughts on the card as a whole, Gumby? Anything interesting to you?
You know, kind of rushed put together, if we're being honest. One of the fights was already booked. I can't remember if we broke it down or not. But the Frenchman fight was already broken down. One absolute squash match. Probably not the best put together PFL card. But you know, hey, we make money on it. That's what we do.
That's true. Yeah, it looked strange to me when I was.
Oh, look, it says Berserker now.
Yeah, there you go.
The change. He did it on the fly.
I know, technology. Old guy figured it out too on the fly. Amazing. Gumby's so excited about that. I like it. That is a good partner. He gets excited about the little things I do for this here show to make it so enjoyable for all you people. All right. We're going to give you some winning picks. That's what you're all here for. Some of you might like the shenanigans, but mostly you're here for the winning picks. Before we dive into it, reminder, if you haven't listened yet or watched, Sports Gambling Podcast is back with the 32 NFL team previews. They're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give out one word of a 32-word phrase. Submit the phrase for a chance to win a $1,000 circa future. Sounds good to me. All right. I don't think I gave the full breakdown yesterday, but we were talking about PFL World Tournament 8. 2025 finals. It's coming this coming Friday, August the 1st. I said first. 6 p.m. is the start time for the prelims. So the main card would be about 2 in the morning start time. PFL, it'd be 9 maybe? I would guess.
Yeah,
10?
probably 9, right around 9 or 10.
Gumby doesn't want to go to it, but if you want to go to it, Jim Whalen Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I guess Atlantic City is a bit down there from you, right? It's not super close.
It's like 7 hours, 6 or 7 hours or something.
10 bouts. We covered half of them yesterday. The other half would be today. We're starting with the hastily arranged fight. As Gumby said, it's kind of a slap together PFL card. This fight was not even on the schedule when I was doing the breakdowns just a couple of days ago. It's Sarek Shields versus Nick Meck. They're fighting at 170. They're both from the United States. No odds yet for this either as of this recording, because like I said, it's a brand new fight. Meck has got a very good nickname I would like to take, but I'm not. Nick Meck, the King Black Cat, or King Black Cat, Nick Meck. Either are. Good name. 9-2, 1 knockout, 4 submissions. Never been finished in a fight. 1-1 in PFL. He's won 2 straight and gone 3-2 over his last 5. Submission win in his last bout. Multiple region championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. He's got an inch reach on Shields. Shields is Berserker. I stole your name, though. He's 7-2, 1 knockout, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. So both of his losses came via knockout. Lucky he's fighting a guy who submits people. He's won 2 straight and 5 of 6. He's a regional champ. A 1-0 in PFL, if I didn't say that already. 2 inches of height over Meck. So give us an odd, give us a win.
I think Shields is going to be a big favorite. He kind of got screwed out of possibly being in this tournament. He was supposed to fight Joseph Luciano as an alt bout way back when the welterweight tournament first started. And Logan Storley's original opponent was Magomedov Mulatov, who had to back out for weight issues or something like that. And instead of stealing Shields, they stole Luciano and put him against Logan Storley. Now, obviously, Logan Storley beats the crap out of him. We're going to talk about him in the finals in a little bit. But then they rebooked Shields versus Luciano for a prelim down the road, and Shields beat him up. And so like they took the wrong guy out of the alt bout.
Yeah.
And I don't think he beats Logan Storley, but like, that tells you like that they probably made the wrong choice there and who to pull up and who not to pull up.
Yeah.
And I think they did stylistically too, because, let's talk about what Logan Storley's good at. Logan Storley's good at takedowns and holding you down and beating you up when you're down. He was fighting Joseph Luciano, a guy who pretty much is fine with you taking him down because he's going to try 37 submissions off of his back. And, while that works against certain level of regional opponents, it's not going to work against Logan Storley. Logan Storley's good at that kind of game. And Sarek Shields brings like a Logan Storley light style. You know what I mean? Like he himself is a pretty damn good wrestler. He's a good grinder. He himself, when he beat Luciano, put him on his back, wasn't afraid of the submissions, defended everything he threw up, ground and pound, like all of those types of things. I like that about Sarek Shields. Now on the Nick Meck side, like I think Nick Meck wishes he was a little bit closer to that style than he actually is, because he himself likes to wrestle a lot. I would say game plan wise, I'd say mentally he probably thinks the same way as Sarek Shields here. But the big difference is Sarek Shields closes the distance really well. His top control is really sharp. And Nick Meck kind of has issues with the way that he closes the distance to shoot. Like he throws strikes out there, but it's not really blended together particularly well. And then in addition to that too, like, I've seen in some of his recent fights that when he's gotten taken down or when he's scrambling, he's done some like weird things that have basically given up his own back. And those are the types of mistakes that Sarek Shields would exploit. So, I'm going to go with Sarek Shields here. My guess is probably in like negative 350 range.
Right.
But I just think he's the better of the two grinders here.
All right. Grinding fight. All right. Now we're getting to the main. That was the prelim fight. Now we're going to jump into the main card. We got a 4-fight main card. As of this recording, at the very least, we're starting with middleweight belt Jordan Newman, United States of America, Eslam Abdul Baset, or Baset, probably, right? From Iran. Is that right?
I think it's probably Baset then, isn't it?
Egypt, excuse me. Eslam Abdul Baset from Egypt versus Jordan Newman for the United States. 185 is breaking down. Baset, listen to these odds. The Iron Man, 16-3 with 1 no contest, 7 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. PFL debut. He's won 7 of 8. TKO loss in his last bout. Multiple region championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get the shirt, get our merch, get all the good stuff. sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. You're going to hear that a lot this episode. He's fed at 205, 2014 pro MMA debut. Sounds like a good resume, right? Plus 738. Sorry. Because he's fighting a not human Jordan Newman. 7-0, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions. This is his debut as well. He's 2 years younger than Baset, minus 1,000. And he is a college wrestler as well, right?
Yeah, Jordan Newman is the pick here. Like, as much as you can watch film on Baset and try to get yourself excited about him. But like Jordan Newman, 7-0 for a reason. He's an absolute beast in there. And like if you watched Baset, anytime he's fought a wrestler, he's struggled with the wrestling. And he's fought wrestlers who are not as good at wrestling as Jordan Newman is. The fight that sticks out to me is, basically I went back in his record and was like, if he is going to win this fight, he needs to be able to defend takedowns. Let me see if I can find any footage of him defending a takedown. And so I found this fight with Mike Shipman, a guy who pretty much exclusively shoots takedowns, and who he must have gone into that fight knowing, like, I got to stuff the takedown. I've got to force this guy to strike. And what he couldn't do was get that fight that way. He wound up giving up early takedowns to Mike Shipman right away. Was working off of his back constantly. And if he's doing that against Mike Shipman, and no shade on Mike Shipman, he is actually a pretty good wrestler. He's not. I don't think he's Jordan Newman though. Jordan Newman's kind of one of those guys who I was like, how did they not find a tournament spot for this guy? For me, I think the grind is going to be there for Jordan Newman, not to just pick back-to-back wrestlers here, but the simple breakdown in this fight is that, Baset has given up a lot of takedowns. Newman, collegiate wrestler, really high level, has found a way to make it work in his game. So give me Jordan Newman. He grinds this one out easily.
This is the grind episode, Gumby. The grind episode. Totally.
Grind.
All right. Before we grind out some more wins, let's tell you about some of our lovely sponsors. Starting with, once I get to that read, Circa Million and Circa Survivor, the world's greatest sportsbook. Circa Las Vegas is hosting the world's biggest pro football contests. That would be Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo, with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true degen if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. Come hang out with SGPN at the Circa contest weekend, August 21st to 23rd, for an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get a 15% off a stay at the Circa with promo code SGP15. The contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're giving you discounts everywhere. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiverware, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog is also a great place to play Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Gumby's going to give you a winning play right now, I bet. Probably baseball.
Yeah, one of my favorite guys is throwing on. This is Monday. We got Chase Burns on the mound for the Reds, and I think last time he pitched, I said on this very podcast that he's probably just going to go off for double-digit strikeouts, and all he did was strike out 10. So we're going to go the higher than on Chase Burns' strikeouts yet again.
So I better do a Chase Burns article. I better go back in.
Burns, he's so nasty.
I better go back in time because today's Monday already. I'll go back in time and I'll write a Chase Burns article on Sunday night for Monday. How's that sound?
That sounds good to me.
All right, listen to what Gumby said. Read my article too. And use our code at Underdog Fantasy. That would be MMA SGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. So underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN. All right. He doesn't have his fun name as Schlichter, but still.
Schlittler.
Right.
We talked
even
about
funner.
Last episode.
All right.
How did he had to have gotten picked on in middle school, right?
You'd think so, yeah.
Schlittler.
Yeah. Maybe he got strong throwing rocks at the bullies, so that's how he got a good throwing arm. We got a France versus France fight next at 145. Asaël Adjoudj versus Yves Landu. They're fighting us at 145, 3 5-minute rounds. I will tell you about Landu. I guess it would be Lando then, wouldn't it? Yves Lando. 21-9, 5 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. He's durable. This is his PFL debut. He's won 5 straight fights and 6 of 8. He's not fought since May 2024. He's not lost since October 2021. He went 6-1 in Bellator RIP. He also has multiple region championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirt, get our merch, get all the good stuff. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. He's fed at 155, 2010 pro MMA debut. He's got 2 inches reach over Adjoudj plus 201. Adjoudj is the Sultan, which is easier to say. 9-1, 3 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. 1-0 in PFL. He has won 9 straight fights. He's not lost since his debut, which was February 2020. He went 6-1 in Bellator as well. Rip to Bellator. He's fed at 155, 13 years younger than Lando, 4 inches taller, minus 225.
I'm actually going to go Lando. I'm going to roll the dice here, take an underdog. And the big reason why I like Lando here is his wrestling. He does a really good job of getting down on the hips, forcing wrestling exchanges. I think he's probably going to be, I think he'll be the slower of the 2 guys on the feet here, but I don't think it's like, he's not markedly slower than Adjoudj. I really like the experience when it comes to grappling and his wrestling. And yes, I know you just mentioned Adjoudj is 1-0 in PFL. He's coming off of a submission win. He got absolutely taken to task in that fight nonstop for about 14 minutes before he pulled a guillotine out of nowhere and managed to beat a guy who I'm pretty high on in Jose Perez. But the thing is that like the stuff that Perez did in that fight that gave Adjoudj all kinds of trouble is what I think Landu can do. Like, Perez is, he's a good wrestler from New Jersey Chicago. Sorry. That's gonna, man, he'd be pissed about that. But like, he's a good wrestler. He's good at getting to the hips. He blends things together well, all things that I think Lando does as well. And so like, Adjoudj already had trouble with that. What did Adjoudj do? He poked Perez in the eye about 17 times in that fight and then found a late guillotine. And so Lando is a little bit more experienced than Perez. I think Perez was like 8-0 going into that fight or something like that. Lando's got damn near 30 fights on his career. I think he, and you said it yourself, he's durable. I think he does a better job of avoiding that submission here. And if he can, just sort of ride out those takedowns and force Adjoudj to fight the exact same fight he fought last time out, Adjoudj looked bad doing that. So, I'm going to take Landu to kind of capitalize on, this really high stock on Adjoudj for pretty much no reason other than that he found that late finish.
All right. Let's give you Landu. That's the winning pick, everybody. You know it. All right. We are to our first tournament championship fight. So $500,000, right? It hasn't been cut down.
And
again.
These guys, did both of these guys win a championship at one point?
We'll find out.
I know Pinedo did, but maybe Khaybulaev. Oh no, Khaybulaev beat I want to say Chris Wade in the finals one year.
Yep, he is the champion. It's true.
Yep.
Movlid Khaybulaev versus Jesus Pinedo. That would be Russia versus Peru. We will tell you about which one's first. How about the Russian Killer Khaybulaev, 23-0-1. With one no contest, 6 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's 9-0-1 with 1 no contest in PFL. He's a 2021 champion.
There it is.
Back when it was $1 million. He's won 9 straight. He won 1-0-1 championship, the biggest promotion in the world. Used to fight at 155, 2011 pro MMA debut, plus 145. El Mudo, the Mute, Pinedo, the Mudo, 25-6-1, 16 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. 5-1 in PFL. The 2023 champion, it's a champ versus champ fight. He's won 5 straight. He's not lost since April 2023. He's missed weight before at 145, so that's something to keep an eye on. 1-1 in the UFC. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, sportsgivenpockets.com/store. 2013 pro MMA debut. 6 years younger than Khaybulaev. It's easier than I'm making it. It's much easier than I'm making it. 6 inches taller, 4 inches of reach. So he's way younger, way bigger. Minus 150.
Is Khaybulaev also the one who fractured Damon Jackson's skull with that knee?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I think he's the one who flying kneed Damon Jackson in the skull.
Knocked his hair right off.
Yeah, or right back in. I don't know.
Yes.
Like
he's got stimulated growth.
Yeah, he's got that Turkish style in there. I'm gonna go with another underdog. I'm gonna take Movlid Khaybulaev. I like Pinedo. Like, don't get me wrong. I think he's a much better striker in this fight. One of the things I've really liked about Pinedo is like surprising power out of the guy all the time. He's really quick and he doesn't. A lot of the problems with some guys who are quick is they like know they're quick and then they like become bouncy for like no damn reason. And like Pinedo has done a really good job of avoiding becoming that guy. He just continues to be, it's not even plotting, but like all of his movements are smart. He doesn't waste energy. He's like really well built for a 5-round fight. And not that he gets there all the time because he puts people away. He just knocked out Braga, right? Second Braga mentioned there. So yeah, like he's fast, he's sharp, he's really good. But the fact of the matter is I've just seen him a couple of times against guys who can wrestle where I ask myself, like, is that, and I know that this, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here because like I think this is the 4th breakdown in a row where I've been like, yeah, but the wrestling, dude. And like, and that's the problem with Pinedo for me. Like if you watch him fight Adam Borix maybe didn't get the wrestling going, but he did get him moving backwards with it a lot. Which takes a lot of that zap away from what Pinedo's trying to do in the feet. And then if you watch his fight with Bubba Jenkins, and again, he beat Bubba Jenkins. So like, he clearly can hang with some wrestlers. Bubba Jenkins picked that dude up and slammed him pretty damn hard early in that fight. And, again, his cardio is better. He was able to stay into the fight and beat him up later on. But the thing about Khaybulaev is like, nobody's outworked Khaybulaev before. People have outworked Bubba Jenkins, right? Bubba Jenkins has run out of gas before. Bubba Jenkins has, started to fail on takedowns late. Bubba Jenkins has forgotten his fight IQ at home once in a while. Khaybulaev, that's not been the case with. Like he's still undefeated, right? Like, yeah.
One draw, 1 no contest. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like, nobody's really figured out how to outwork this guy. And the reason why is I think it's because his takedown game, much like the striking game of Pinedo, is low effort. Like I was saying, Pinedo avoided being that guy who bounces too much and wastes energy on the feet. Khaybulaev has avoided being that guy who needs to pick you up over his head to slam you down to make a show out of it. The Bubba, what I just mentioned, Bubba Jenkins did. Like instead, he gets your legs and he quickly changes the angle so that you fall down. He doesn't back you all the way up into the cage and waste energy trying to get you down there. He gets it on your legs. He cuts a quick angle. Sometimes he even like laces the leg, inside trips, outside trips, that kind of stuff. He also uses his legs really well once you're already down to like, leg lace, keep you on the ground, all that kind of stuff. I really love the fact that Khaybulaev is a wrestler without being one that wastes cardio. Because as I said, like that's susceptible to getting beat by Jesus Pinedo. And I just don't think he's that. And I think the wrestling's good. The other thing I will say is like, he's not Bubba Jenkins because the striking works a little bit better too. Bubba Jenkins has sort of fallen into the problem where like his striking hasn't caught up to his grappling. I just mentioned Khaybulaev is the guy who threw that flying knee, knocked somebody out. He's got big hooks. I'd like to see more combinations out of him. That's maybe his biggest flaw is that like he's more of a one and done guy or, sometimes two. I'd really like to see him extend those combinations. But hey, maybe that actually works out against Pinedo because you don't want to be in like a long exchange with that guy anyway. So, Khaybulaev can hold his own on the feet. The cardio is going to hold up. I think as long as he doesn't waste energy, which like, why would I think he ever would? I think he's going to handle Pinedo here. So give me Khaybulaev as a slight underdog.
Meanwhile, Bubba Jenkins is like, hey, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, and the funny thing is like, I pick Bubba Jenkins all the time. Like I'm always in on Bubba Jenkins. And like once in a while, he hasn't shot enough takedowns and it's bummed me out. But like, I'm still a Bubba Jenkins guy. But yeah, he caught a lot of shrapnel in that breakdown.
Innocent bystander. Okay, that's fine. Before we
Bubba.
That's all right. Get to the main event. Let me tell you about mybookie.ag. We are brought to you by them, mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet in every sport, including the MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. They have easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. You can get all these PFL lines there as well. It's not just those other sports I mentioned. Head to mybookie.ag. Sign up with their promo code SGPN. That way you get 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And you've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends, essentially the best of the best of what their house model has to offer. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. MLB Power Trends are 254 or 147, a win rate of 63%, and an ROI of 4.5% in their past 400 bets. And WNBA Power Trends 35 and 20 since launch, 63.64% win rate, 20.7% ROI. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. We will be. Was Chase Burns a Power Trend Gumby? Or is that a Gumby trend?
Yeah, of course. He had one bad game against the Red Sox. He actually didn't make it out of the first, gave up 7 runs. And I think the books were like, he's still young and raw. He's going back to the minors. And since then, double-digit strikeouts twice in a row. He's a phenom. He's a guy you got to pay attention to, and Rhythm already has been.
Yep. So you can get a 7-day free trial to Rhythm by going to sportsgamblingpockets.com/rhythm. Check the spelling though, RITHMM. All right, main event time. It is for welterweight tournament championship. Thad Jean from the United States, Logan Storley, United States. Of course, Logan Storley is totally a U.S. name. She probably play hockey with the first name Logan, but nonetheless. 5-minute rounds. Sorry, the last belt was 5-minute rounds as well. The Pinedo belt. Let's tell you about Storm Storley, 18-3 with 9 knockouts. He's been knocked out once, 3-1 in PFL. He's won 3 straight and 4 of 6. He went 10-2 in Bellator, RIP, and was the champion there. He made his debut in 2015. He's at plus 145. At least we're getting close main events. We had some wider odds earlier in the card, but we got some real close main events here. The Silverback, Thad John, 10-0, 5 knockouts, 1 submission, 6-0 in PFL. He's 6 years younger than Storley, 5 inches taller, 5 inches reach, minus 161.
I can't believe I'm doing this after this whole episode.
The wrestler episode?
The wrestler episode. I'm picking the striker. I'm going to take Thad Gene.
Yep.
And it's funny because, I think when this tournament started, you asked me, who is your expectation to win at welterweight? And I said, as long as Logan Storley gets through Magomed Umalatov, he's my champ.
Yeah.
And then Umalatov.
I remember you picking him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Umalatov got pulled. And then I think you asked me for, who would he see in the finals or who might be a dark horse. And I said Thad Gene. Like if Thad Gene could get through the Jason Jackson side of that bracket, he's an intriguing prospect. And he not only got through the Jason Jackson side of that bracket, but he did so enough for me to say my initial instinct was wrong. Thad Gene is the right guy to pick to win here. And the reason why is like, you know as well as I do, Jason Jackson is an ass-kicking machine.
He is. I've read that somewhere too.
And not only is he an ass-kicking machine, but like, what did we joke that the nickname should be changed to? Oh, come on!
I'm supposed to remember this.
Yeah, you got this. It was your name for a while.
Oh,
we only changed one word. You got it. I believe in you.
It wasn't the ass kicking machine. What was it? I can't remember.
It was the ass grinding machine.
Oh, that was my name. We've done this show for a long time.
Yeah,
that was a while ago. But yes,
not actually all that long ago. I think it was early.
How
in this
inappropriate!
tournament.
But yes, I do remember that.
So anyway, Jason Jackson brings a grinding style. The grinding style we've been talking about this entire episode. And what did Thad Gene do? He basically gave him no minutes of control time. Yeah. Jason Jackson would get him down. That dude is so effing strong, and he would just, do the technical thing right. But in addition to doing the technical thing right, he's just so powerful that he'd, get himself back up, and then he'd punish Jason Jackson for having him been there. And look, Jason Jackson is a guy with legit 5-minute cardio. He won the Bellator title right before it was PFL. And when he won that Bellator title, it was by just working so damn hard. He beat the who was the Ukrainian guy there that was the champ for a long time.
Right.
That guy.
Yes.
That guy.
He left for a while to fight in the war. Yes, that guy.
And then he came back to lose to Jason Jackson.
Yeah.
So Jackson has got legit cardio, and still Thad Gene was like, it doesn't matter, third round, I'm getting back up and I'm punishing you for it. And he won a decision. It was a really close decision, but it was like one where he's the powerful striker and he didn't get enough control time. And then when you look at Logan Storley, yes, he fought Kikuri in the semifinals. Yes, he got his wrestling going, and ultimately it was enough. But if you look at a lot of those late takedowns in that fight, they are labored. His cardio is not the cardio of Jason Jackson. And even Jason Jackson dealt with some issues getting takedowns late against Thad Gene. I think those issues start a lot earlier against Logan Storley. I think Logan Storley has a much worse time in the grappling than Jason Jackson does. And I think he gasses earlier in that fight too. And then in addition to that too, I think the gap on the feet is wider than it was with Jason Jackson. I think Jackson can, sort of hold his own up there. I think Storley's got a little bit more to go. And especially with the KO power of Thad Gene, I think Gene's just going to punish him on the feet, and he's going to pop back up as soon as he gets down. So yeah, give me Thad Gene here. Little surprised even in myself with this pick, but he's the right one.
Okay, I cheated and looked it up. Yaroslav Amosov is the man
Yaroslav
that he deserved us to
28
respect
or something like that. Yep. We completely forgot him.
Yep. All right, let's recap and get out of here. No lightning round because you got every fight broken down. Thad John, Hobby. It's not that hard. Khaybulaev. It's so easy, but there's a lot of extra letters in there. Khaybulaev. Not Adjoudj. Landu. Newman and Shields. So he's got you some wide ones. He's got you some underdogs. You got everything there. If you want more of us, we're in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. We are on the old YouTube in the comment section at MMA Gambling Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, please and thanks. We are on the Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gummy Reeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer. They are on Instagram. You can check out my Substack at moneymma.substack.com. I usually have a weekly UFC pick'em contest running there for you for free. Gumby has another podcast called Top Turtle. He's in the thick of Dana White Contender Series previews with interviews, right?
Yeah, we got Ty Miller, who's going to be on the first episode. I think he's going to be the second fight of the whole season. And then later we're going to be talking to Damon Wilson.
When's it's how many more weeks?
August 12th.
So
we're only 2 weeks from tomorrow.
That is exciting. All right. Best time of the year. And of course, we're at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store for your merch needs. And for the bonus content, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We'll be back tomorrow after Gumby bids you farewell.
All right. I'm Daniel Gumby Freeland. He's the ass grinding machine, Jeff Fox, and we will see you tomorrow.